Alright, so we have another chess video here, and I open with white to the e4, he responds with e5, and I simply just play the Italian. And Italian is one of my favorite openings right now. And he counters my Italian by doing knight to f6. Now, I kind of made a mistake here by doing knight to, what did I say? C3. Because let's say he did this, I would have taken back, and he would have done this. I've done this, and then that, which is of course really bad, right? I'm assuming you guys know that. So I think what I should have done is use my queen instead of the knight, meaning if he took here, I took here, and then there we go. Fortunately, he didn't do that. He tried to open up his light square bishop. I castle. Now, I don't know about this move here. He moves his knight over here to a5. I'm pretty sure this is a mistake because there's no point of just randomly moving a knight here, attacking my bishop, when I could just counter it like that. He could have probably developed his light square bishop, probably on g4 or whatnot, or maybe done something else. But I'm pretty sure this is the bad move, unless I'm wrong. I counter with queen to e2. Now he kind of gets me in a bad situation where he does his bishop to g4, but then I push my pawn here, opening up my dark square bishop, whilst his pawn provides protection for my light square bishop, which is of course really nice. Then he moves the dark square bishop outwards to e7, and then I attempt to kick away the bishop, which he takes the knight, and I do an equal trade with my queen. He gets my bishop, and I take his knight. Pawn structure not the best for me, but I mean it's working for now, but it's not the best. I'm gonna be real. He castles same side as me. Now here is where I move my queen to g3, because maybe I wanted to move my bishop here, pinning this pawn as well with my queen, and hopefully looking for checkmate or something like checkmate. Okay, I don't know what I meant by something like checkmate. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Okay. Now, he made a mistake because he hung this pawn right here by pushing his pawn down. Now, I didn't take this pawn because I thought maybe I'm only 800 elo, so maybe this dark squared bishop method would have worked by pinning the pawn with my queen. So I moved my bishop to h8, h6, sorry, but he simply just moves his knight to h5, which I don't think is still a good move. Granted, it gets my queen away from checkmate, but he could have simply just pushed his pawn down, which is what normally happens, because of course this pawn is still hanging, which I gladly take, and now I'm attacking his hanging knight. So okay, and he blunders because he attempts to attack my queen with his dark square bishop, but he of course is still hanging his knight. So I take, I mean, just a free knight. I'm not gonna complain about that. Now he takes my bishop and I take the pawn. There we go. So I win a pawn because he's gonna take this pawn here, which I'm pretty sure he does. But then I get my rook on it. He gets his rook on it, but then he only has a defender on his pawn. I have two attackers. Now I could have taken with my rook. He would take with rook. I would take with knight, and then he will have to move his bishop back, probably doing something like this, which is of course not the best thing for me, right? So I don't think this really changes it that much, but he did take the pawn. I got my rook on it. He got his rook on it. I took him knight. He can still do this. I mean, it doesn't really change the fact that he can still do it, but it is what it is because it will be an equal trade for pawns. So I guess it's okay because it's an equal trade after all. But he takes my knight with his rook, and I take his rook with my rook. Now, the way he plays this is a bit odd because he, again, just not developing his queen at all, and he still wants to keep this battery on his bishop, and he's attacking my queen. But very foolishly, he put his bishop right underneath his open king, meaning I could just use my rook to pin the bishop to the king, and oh no, he can't take my queen, and I pretty much got a free bishop. Now here he messes up because instead of moving his king, which I mean still probably wouldn't be the best move, he attacks my rook, which I mean I don't blame him. I don't know what really the move for him is here, but but like he lost the bishop. So I take his pinned bishop with check, and he blunders because for some reason he tries to take my rook with his queen. I don't know what he was expecting here. And then I simply just took his queen of check, and I mean he moved his king, and then I checked him for the I checked him. What am I trying to say? I checkmated him. Sorry, I didn't checkmate him. What am I on about? I checked him by taking his pawn, bro. I don't know what I'm talking about, bro. Like, okay, and I checkmated him. That's it. And sorry, wait, no, wait, what am I saying? I did not checkmate him. Sorry. Okay, okay. Let me break this down. I am bugging out right now. This is definitely how 797 elo player just talks about chess because I'm so bad at chess. Okay, let me say this again properly. He moves his king to f7, and I take his pawn with check, and he resigns. That's what I was trying to say. I'm so sorry. That's it for the video. Goodbye.